Thank you, Madam Chair. And again, congratulations to you and Senator Whitehouse. You all are going to be a great team as usual, and a great example, I think, for the rest of Congress.
Look forward to working with you.
We appreciate you being here, appreciate your willingness to serve. We had a great meeting, and I want to compliment you on the fact that you have made yourself available. I know you've worked on that really hard. Senator Curtis, in response to a question of his, you talked about the frustration of, writing letters and, you're at a hearing and nobody's responded and making calls. You've got maybe a situation like Dan talked about, or whatever senator on both sides of the aisle, and you just can't get through to anybody to really, Can you talk about, as a former member, how important that is to you to make sure that you're going to continue to be available, and answer the phone, and be such that we can get the information that we need to go forward?
Senator, I want every member of this committee to have the ability to contact me, to be able to share directly your concerns and your ideas. I want to be responsive to all of the members of this committee. I want my team to be able to work closely with your offices. I want to know what all of your priorities are at any given time. And I want to make sure that I am accountable and transparent to this committee. I spent 8 years in the House of Representatives. I've had an opportunity to see people come before committees, and they were very responsive, and I've seen the opposite. And it is important
more often than not.
Especially with your great chair, and she has a great team to make sure that the EPW committee on both sides of the aisle, with Senator Whitehouse and Senator Whitehouse's team, I want to make sure that there is a very strong relationship between this committee and the EPA.
Very good. I have the privilege of serving my colleagues as chairman of the Ag Committee, which is the direct oversight of EPA's Office of Pesticide Programs. I understand you and Agriculture Secretary nominee Brooke Rollins have a good working relationship. As issues affecting agriculture arise, I found farmers and ranchers are best served when the EPA and the Department of Agriculture are working together. Can you tell us about how you envision EPA and USDA working together to create a predictable, science-based, and efficient regulatory system to ensure the timely availability of products and tools farmers and ranchers depend on to produce the safest, most abundant, and most affordable food supply in the world?
I agree with everything that you just said, Senator. That must be our goal. That should be the relationship between all agencies, including the interaction between the EPA and the USDA, in a way that you are able to go back to all of your constituents and to be able to talk about that progress that has been achieved as a result of these agencies working together.
Very good. For the last several years, the EPA failed to collaborate with industries and states prior to rulemaking. I think that's true of whatever administration has been in power. Early in the Biden administration, it became evident the EPA's agenda was shaped by the input from a narrow group of stakeholders. Given that every rulemaking has a significant impact on businesses, workers, and domestic manufacturing, which cannot simply be restored overnight, how will you work with industries more collectively to ensure that their concerns are addressed while maintaining a balanced approach to environmental protection?
Senator, first off, it is important that the EPA is always fulfilling our obligations under the law, that we are abiding by the rule of law, that we are following our commitment to Congress to be able to follow the Administrative Procedures Act and to ensure that all actions are durable well into the future. As far as engagement throughout that process, it is important to hear from people who have good, substantive, informed feedback that allows the EPA to be able to do a better job, to make better decisions. And that, at times, might involve me speaking to people who I might agree with or disagree with on any given day. But the worst thing that I could possibly do, that the EPA could do, is to turn a blind eye to great substantive feedback that will better inform our decisions so that we are being responsive and transparent, not just to Congress, but also to the American people.
Good.